Okay, let's unpack this one. Imagine being a kid, right? And you see dead people.
A familiar starting point.
Yeah, but not quite like in the movies. These ghosts, they have to tell you the truth when you ask.
Exactly.
And sometimes those truths are really dark. They can twist your whole reality, pull you into some pretty horrifying stuff.
Absolutely.
So today, we're taking a deep dive into a novel that I think really flips the script on supernatural gifts,
Right.
weaving it into this gritty, very personal crime story.
Well, what's so fascinating here is how Stephen King, I mean, he's a master of this stuff, takes a premise that feels almost, archetypal.
Right.
And he creates something that feels both really familiar but also just chillingly fresh. For this deep dive, we're getting into his 2021 novel, Later. It was published by Hard Case Crime.
Yeah, and this isn't just any King novel, is it? It's his third one with Hard Case Crime. He did The Colorado Kid and Joyland with them before.
That's right, a specific kind of pulp noir feel.
And it wasn't some quiet release either. It hit #2 pretty quick on the New York Times fiction bestseller list. I think it was the week ending March 6, 2021. So people noticed.
Definitely.
It's this really cool blend of crime thriller, but with that signature King horror vibe. You can grab the paperback. It's got that great Paul Mann cover art.
Very evocative.
Or there's a limited hardcover with Gregory Manches's art, which is also stunning. And for you listeners out there, there's a really good 7-hour audiobook. Seth Numrick reads it.
He does a great job.
At the absolute heart of it all is Jamie Conklin. He's just a young boy, really, but he's carrying this remarkable and, well, ultimately terrifying gift.
So our mission today really is to sort of unpack how this unique ability doesn't just shape Jamie's life, it kind of corrupts it. It forces him and, the adults around him into making some really profound moral compromises.
Yeah.
We'll dig into the unsettling consequences that happen when truth, even truth from the dead, comes with this extraordinary, inescapable price tag. You'll see how fast a power that seems useful can just become this unbearable burden.
Pulling a kid into a world he shouldn't be in.
Exactly. An adult world of secrets, exploitation, and frankly, mortal danger. King really uses this story to dissect truth itself, how it can be a weapon, how it can be a curse.
Okay, so the story kicks off, told by Jamie himself looking back. It's set mostly in the late 2000s, early 2010s in New York City.
Right. That setting is important too.
And from a really young age, Jamie's just different. He's got this extraordinary, kind of unnerving ability. He sees ghosts, dead people, but he can talk to them too.
And here's the kicker.
And here's the absolute crucial rule, the thing that really sets King's idea apart. They have to answer him truthfully. No lies.
Cannot lie.
So Jamie tells us about a few unsettling early things, like seeing a dead guy just wave at him near Central Park. And then, when he's a bit older, he uses the gift to help his neighbor, Professor Martin Burkett, find his dead wife Mona's rings. She'd hidden them.
Right. And this is where King lays down the sort of psychological and thematic groundwork. These early moments, they seem kind of small, almost innocent.
Yeah.
But they establish the unique rules of his power. He's not just seeing ghosts. He's accessing pure, unfiltered truth. And initially, his single mom, Tia, she's the only one who knows about this incredible, frankly terrifying secret.
And she warns him.
She gives him this really stark, almost prophetic warning, never tell anyone. And her reason, which just echoes through the whole book, is chillingly practical. She says, the dead have secrets, and there are people who might want those secrets.
Oh.
It just immediately flags the double-edged nature of Jamie's gift, right? It offers priceless info, yeah, but it makes him incredibly vulnerable. It's such a critical moment, setting up a rule that, well, we pretty quickly see is going to get broken.
And it gets broken almost immediately. And by the very person who gave the warning, his own mother.
The irony is thick, isn't it?
Yeah. So Tia, Jamie's mom, she's a literary agent. Her agency is really struggling, after the Great Recession, basically about to go under.
Tough times.
And her star client, this romance novelist, Regis Thomas, he suddenly drops dead right before finishing his last book, the one book that could save her whole business.
The stakes are incredibly high for her.
So Tia, in this moment of just sheer desperation, King writes this so well. She does exactly what she told Jamie never, ever to do. So how does this first betrayal by his own mom kind of set the stage for everything else?
Well, it's a masterstroke of dramatic irony, like you said. King uses this first crack in the trust to just lay bare how insidious adult desperation can be and how it corrupts innocence. Tia doesn't just ask for help, she basically forces him.
Right.
She drags him and her girlfriend at the time, who happens to be an NYPD detective, Elizabeth Liz Dutton.
Oh, cop knows now. Great.
Exactly. She brings them both to Thomas's house. And she makes Jamie talk to the dead author's ghost to get the plot of that unfinished book.
Guess the dead can't lie.
They can't lie. And, in King's world here, they seem pretty indifferent to earthly stuff once they're gone. So Thomas just tells him the story.
Wow.
He grabs that info, publishes it like it was Thomas's finished work. It's a huge hit, saves her agency. But she's just exposed Jamie's deepest secret to Liz, a massive betrayal.
Huge.
King's really digging into how far a parent, even one who loves their kid, might go to save themselves and what that does to the child's safety, their trust, their whole world. It's not just plot, it's a deep dive into moral compromise under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's probably no coincidence that soon after this, Tia finds drugs in Liz's jacket and breaks up with her. It flags Liz's own darker path, setting up more danger for Jamie down the line.
Absolutely. That first desperate act by Tia, it's stark. And it just sets this grim tone. Okay, so fast forward a year. We see the fallout. Liz is now spiraling. She's facing losing her job because she's suspected of drug running. She's desperate, and she knows Jamie's secret.
She sees him as a tool now.
Totally. She picks Jamie up from school, basically coerces him, forces him into helping her with this incredibly dangerous situation. There's a serial bomber, Kenneth Theriot. He killed himself.
Right.
But not before planting one last bomb somewhere in the city. Liz needs Jamie to find Theriot's ghost, make him reveal the location before it detonates.
And he does it.
He does. He finds the ghost, gets the location, prevents a tragedy. But it's what happens next that really changes things for Jamie, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is a massive turning point. It shifts Jamie's gift from something sort of passive, something he just observes, into an active, escalating threat. Because unlike the other ghosts Jamie's met, the ones who just fade away after telling their truth, Theriot's ghost doesn't leave. It stays. It haunts Jamie, harasses him for weeks. It can even touch him physically, leaves him completely traumatized.
Wait, touch him, like physically interact.
Yeah, which is terrifying. This persistent kind of malevolent haunting, Jamie starts to think it's because of some outside force, something he calls the dead light that's entered the ghost, possessed it, keeping it here.
The dead light. Okay, that sounds bad. Like, really bad.
For anyone who knows King's other work, that idea of an external evil entity infecting something dead, it definitely rings bells.
Okay.
Think it. Pennywise, the deadlights being his true form.
Ah, right, the cosmic horror stuff.
Exactly. But here, King grounds it, makes it intensely personal for Jamie. It's a violation of the rules he understood. And Liz, she's totally clueless about how messed up Jamie is from this. She just uses finding the bomb to save her own skin at work temporarily.
Just using him again.
It just keeps happening, exploiting his gift, pushing him deeper into these dangerous, psychologically damaging situations.
So this dead light thing, it's not just a ghost, it's something else, something worse.
Seems like it, almost parasitic.
Jamie's tormented by Theriot's ghost, so he turns to Professor Burkett, the neighbor, the literature professor at NYU who teaches Gothic lit.
The one he helped with the rings.
Right, and Burkett, after Jamie sort of nudges his memory about the rings, he reluctantly tells Jamie about this ancient ritual he knows. It's called the Ritual of Chud. Supposedly it's a way to fight demons.
Yeah, and again, for King fans, the Ritual of Chud is a huge callback to it. Remember the psychic battle of wills?
Vaguely, yeah. It was pretty out there.
Super cosmic.
Yeah.
But here, King cleverly reworks it. Makes it much more personal, almost a psychological battle for Jamie. It kind of blurs the line between fighting an external demon and fighting his own trauma.
Okay, so how does it work here?
Burkett explains it simply. The haunted person has to confront the demon, grab hold of it mentally, psychically, and just refuse to let go until it gives up, until it submits.
Wow, for a kid, that's intense.
Incredibly brave. Jamie actually does it. He confronts Theriot's ghost, uses this method. After this terrifying struggle, the demon, which is now fully showing itself as this deadlight thing, it promises to leave him alone. But, and this is a classic, it makes this terrifying counteroffer, a real Faustian bargain.
Oh no, what?
It tells Jamie it will come back if he whistles for it, basically giving him this incredibly dangerous get-out-of-jail-free card, but with this huge unspoken cost attached.
Like having a nuke in his back pocket.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Burkett, before he dies a few months later, he's clearly disturbed by this whole deadlight thing. He warns Jamie point blank, never summon it. He's afraid it'll overpower him, consume him.
Okay, that's chilling. A personal shed, that's quite a concept.
So, for 2 years after that, things quiet down for Jamie.
Relatively, yeah. He's trying to piece together some kind of normal life, recover.
But then Liz comes back,
Yeah.
and things go from bad to worse.
To catastrophic, really.
She's completely lost her job by now, right? Deep into drugs, stealing.
Getting off the rails.
And in this desperate, just horrifying move, she kidnaps Jamie at gunpoint.
Just terrifying.
She forces him to go with her to this mansion. Belongs to a drug kingpin named Donald Marsden, who Liz has already murdered.
She's already killed him, wow. Yeah. She thinks Marsden hid a huge stash of OxyContin pills in the house somewhere. She wants to sell them, start over. And she needs Jamie to make Marsden's ghost tell her where they are.
This is just the absolute peak of the horror, isn't it? The ultimate corruption of Liz, the ultimate exploitation of Jamie. It's gut-wrenching.
So does he find the stash?
He does. He talks to Marsden's ghost.
Yeah.
But the stash, it's way, way smaller than Liz expected. Like, pathetically small compared to her dreams of getting rich.
Oh, that's not going to end well.
No. Liz completely loses it. She's enraged. And Jamie, he's looking at her, and he's certain she's going to kill him now. To silence him, he sees it in her eyes.
So he's trapped.
He has no choice. He breaks that promise he made to Professor Burkett. In just sheer desperate terror, he whistles. He summons the dead light.
Oh, man. He actually does it.
He does. And it comes. It bursts out of a mirror, this terrifying physical entity. It attacks Liz. She stumbles back, falls down the stairs, breaks her neck, dies instantly. But it's not over. The dead light, it seems stronger now. It turns on Jamie, challenges him directly, tries to break free of his control, maybe possess him.
No.
But Jamie, terrified as he is, he somehow holds on, refuses to give in. He forces it to leave again.
Wow, he actually controlled it.
He did. But that moment, using that power, making that choice, surviving that,
Yeah.
it leaves him fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
Scarred. He calls the police, gets home safe.
Yeah.
But, yeah. King shows the cost of survival there. You sometimes have to become monstrous to fight a monster.
That is an absolutely brutal sequence. It just perfectly shows how the stakes just kept rising and rising for Jamie. Okay, so years pass after that. Jamie's about to finish high school.
Right. Trying to move on, but carrying all that baggage.
And then there's another twist. His uncle Harry, this is Tia's older brother, who'd been living in a care home with early onset Alzheimer's.
Okay.
He dies of pneumonia. Jamie goes to the care home. And for the first time, he decides to use his ability to ask his uncle's ghost a really personal question. One that's clearly been eating at him.
Which is?
This is his father.
Ah, the big unknown. And this reveal just completely reframes everything, doesn't it? It takes the horror beyond just ghosts and demons.
It really does. Because what does Harry's ghost tell him?
This is where King just goes for the jugular with psychological horror. Harry's ghost reveals the truth. He, Harry, is Jamie's father. Their conception was incestuous.
Oh my God.
Jamie is, understandably, completely blindsided, horrified. He refuses to ask for any more details.
Yeah.
This profound, deeply disturbing truth leaves him utterly troubled, haunted not just by the act itself, but by the genetics.
The Alzheimer's?
Exactly. The very real possibility that he might develop early onset Alzheimer's, just like his uncle, who's also his father. It's this awful double-edged sword of truth delivered by his gift.
That is just a gut punch. It completely shifts everything. Like you said, it's not about the deadlight anymore, really. The real horror is the secret in his own blood.
Absolutely. And King is just brilliant here. He shows that Jamie's gift lets him uncover all these external truths, right? Dead people's secrets, bomb locations. But the most devastating truth is internal. It's woven into who he is. The incest revelation is just this raw, unflinching look at inherited trauma, family secrets, the cycles they create.
So what does that mean for Jamie at the end? He knows this horrible truth, and he knows about the Alzheimer's risk.
Well, he considers getting a simple genetic test, right, to find out if he carries the gene. But in the end, he puts it off. He tells himself he'll do it later.
Oh, the title.
Exactly. And that later isn't just procrastination. It feels like this profound act of self-preservation, a desperate need to postpone a potentially shattering truth, even though his whole life has been about facing truth.
Because some truths are just too big.
King seems to be asking that. Is later a promise he'll eventually face it, or is it just kicking the can down the road, maybe indefinitely?
Yeah.
It highlights that maybe some truths are so terrifying we consciously choose ignorance, even when the answer is right there. It's a powerful, deeply unsettling place to leave a character who's been forced to confront so much.
Wow. What an absolutely extraordinary journey through these dark corners of, a unique mind, but also just the devastating cost of secrets of truth itself.
Hmm.
From this kid's innocent but terrifying gift through all these escalating betrayals and just horrifying moments, later is such a deep dive into the human cost of having abilities like this and the burden of knowing things you shouldn't.
Yeah, and what King really masterfully demonstrates is just how dangerous knowledge can be.
Mm,
Jamie's ability gives him answers, sure, but those answers just consistently lead to deeper, darker, more dangerous questions.
right.
It forces him into this world where power is constantly sought, exploited, usually at a terrible cost to the innocent. King uses Jamie's burden not just as a cool supernatural hook, but as a lens, really, to critique how systems, law enforcement, even something like the publishing industry, exploit vulnerability for self-preservation.
That's a theme he returns to a lot, isn't it? Corruption of innocence.
Absolutely. It echoes through so much of his work childhood trauma, the way evil can seep into even mundane places like Tia's literary agency here. And the story's raw themes, touching on incest, blending mental health issues with potential supernatural possession, it adds these really complex layers.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff.
Definitely. And, given that depth of the chilling story, it's really no surprise that Larverly is already slated to become a TV series. Blumhouse is doing it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so after this deep dive, if you, listening out there, if you had that ability, forcing the dead to tell you the absolute truth, knowing all the dangerous secrets they might hold, what's the first question you'd ask?
Ooh, good one.
And maybe more importantly, what would you do with that answer? And thinking about Jamie at the end,
Mm.
how long would you wait to uncover a truth about your own future if you knew that truth could be terrifying, if it could unravel everything? Something to think about.